Hey guys, welcome out to the range. As you can see, I've got a steel target here beside me. It's one of my falling targets. And I've got a tire behind it, and I recently started adding this. I went to, there's a place here in Chattanooga called Mr. T's Used Tires or something like that. And I went up to the shop and I asked them, do you guys have any old bald tires that are completely worthless for resale? The guy was like, that whole pile over there, help yourself. Free. So I went and I grabbed 3 tires. And basically the idea with this is when the target falls, it lands on the rubber, and I keep busting 2x4s, which is why I've done this, because I'm really getting tired of replacing 2x4s. And so by adding this, it has really, what are you standing on? There we go. By adding that tire, it extends the life of my 2x4s. The tire takes the impact of the fall, which is considerable when this much weight, this is not an excessive amount of weight in motion, but it is enough that it was stressing the 2x4s and they were snapping, especially ones that have been shot. That one over there has got a fair amount of hits on it because I'm not the only one who shoots out here. I've had people who have managed to miss the target from aiming here and they hit somewhere down here. We got to talk about flinching at that point. But anyways, this is something that I started adding. The other thing that I want to cover, because every time that I shoot steel, this comes up. People start talking about shooting steel up close. These targets, you can get away with shooting the steel dead center. Close. These targets, you can get away with shooting the steel dead center. Nothing hit me. This is not frangible. This is standard 115 grain full metal jacket, and as you can see, the bullet splatters quite nicely and disintegrates into a bazillion little pieces. I've been doing this forever. People are deeply troubled every time that they see me shoot a target up close, and I every once in a while demonstrate this so people understand it is not unsafe to shoot steel up close, as long as the steel is in good condition, meaning there are no pits or gouges, because even bullet-sized pits can actually reflect ricochet rounds or portions of rounds back at you. But also when you're doing this, you have to be mindful of the bolts here and here. If you hit a bolt, obviously you could fracture the bolt, you could completely ruin it, but you could also kick rounds back at yourself. And you'll notice my vehicle is right behind me. So the reason I point this out is the confidence that I have in doing this, of knowing that nothing is going back at my vehicle, is considerable. I've been doing this for many, many years. You can work directly or you can stand off to the side. If you stand off to the side, you have a very predictable path because now you've actually given that round somewhere to go and it ends up down there in the dirt. But the nice thing is, when you are shooting steel, relatively close, you can get away with a direct hit. And those rounds fractured into the gravel right here in front of me. Nothing hit me, nothing hit my vehicle. So, and you'll notice those bolts are pretty much touching one another. So what you'll notice is that you've got a really good training medium that lets you get away with what you guys have always heard me say: move, stop, stabilize, shoot, move. The reason these these targets are this far apart from one another is I want to be able to actually get into a good run when I engage one target to the next. A lot of the drills that I do are 5 yards apart, and 5 yards just isn't enough distance to really get into a good run. I hate the way I run. I'm 6'4". I hate the way I run. I run like John Wayne. Well, because John Wayne was 6'4". Us tall guys, us tall big guys, run in a weird way. And but I demonstrate this for people, even though I've had friends who flat out laugh at me and they go, "You run really goofy." Yeah, but at least I run. At least I get out here at the age of almost 52 and actually put in the work. And so, anyways, I wanted to show you guys just a basic drill that I do, and I run a shot timer on it, not so much a par time, but I just want to see if I'm shaving time off. So I start either over here and run over there, or vice versa. And actually I'll do it this way. I'll go that way to here, and then do the check 360, which is a clearing move. And I'll show it to you guys. Actually, I'll show it to you now. When you shoot the target, when the bad guy goes down, and oh, that's the other thing. When you're shooting a moving target, it's actually moving. It's actually falling, so it actually allows you to track it to the ground, which is what we're always trained to do. So what you see is guys go pop, 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 instead of going pop, pop, pop. You can actually track this and hit him on the move. You don't want to hit him any further than here, because you can potentially zip around into that camera or zip around off the bolt, and it can go somewhere that you're not really expecting. So I hit him 2, maybe 3 times as he falls. And once this guy starts going like this, 115 grain, the velocity of which shoves him harder, because he's already mass in motion. So it shoves really hard, and it's very sad, guys. This is very satisfying to do, which is why I'm pointing this out to you. So the way check 360 works is you shoot, track to the ground, and then you step toward the known threat, known source of threat, which is the mess on the floor there. You rotate to visualize the other known threat, and then look for their friends. You're looking around you for friends, for their friends. And the reason, or even your friends, and the reason you're doing this is the gun, the muzzle is pointed in a safe direction at all times. I'm not muzzling myself. I'm not muzzling anybody who's really close around me. The reason this hand goes here as opposed to here, 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 or this stupidity, the reason this hand goes here is in case I rotate and one of his buddies is right here and he takes a swing at me, I can push, I can shove, and I can start shooting from here if I have to. So the support hand comes off the gun gets tucked in tight, the elbow gets tucked in as tight as you can get it against the abdominal wall, and I'm not the abdominal, the side of your body. Tuck it in tight, and you're not doing this, you're just doing this. Because from here I have enough slide clearance if I need to start shooting. Let me show you how this works. All right, I've got a guy directly in front of me, and the other guy is 30 or 40 feet that way, so it's a good run. What am I simulating here? Nothing. There's no tactical simulation here. All this is shoot, move, stop, stabilize, shoot, and then do check 360. Oh, forgot my shot timer. So when you come up with a drill, the first thing you want to do is set this on delay, no par time, just start the thing. And what you're going for is you're just trying to figure out how long does it take you to do a given task. Once you figure that out, set the par time, and then from there start shaving time off. Let's do 7-ish yards, roughly. He may not fall. Well, tell you what, I'll give him 3 or 4 rounds to make him fall. One of those rounds back there was a little high, and it clipped me in the arm, a fragment of it. Didn't do much. It just stings you a little bit. Those are good shots, man. Oh, and the other thing is, if you're shooting down low on the body, refacing the target consists of just a little bit of spray paint. When you do these types of drills, make sure you're stretched out. Well, when you're young, you can get away with doing pretty much whatever you want to your body, but when you get older, you'll pop a tendon, and I've got friends who've done that, and at almost 52, I don't want to do it. All right, so my par time on that was 8.66. So let's reduce the par to 8, and run it again. Now, of course, you don't have to paint over every time you do a few hits. I'm just doing it just for the sake of showing you guys how easy it is to maintain this. And now I've got a fresh medium to work with. The face is still intact because the face really matters. Having faces on targets really matters. It gets you accustomed to seeing the human form. All right, so let's set this to par time of 8 seconds. Eight seconds flat. So now I've got something to work with. I may or may not make that time. It's late in the day. I'm a little dehydrated. I've been out here for several hours working. It's late on a Friday afternoon, and I've got to meet my wife and daughter later for supper. And I just wanted to get a little trigger time in because I've been doing a lot of physical labor on the range. And this is from the draw, not from the ready position. Actually, am I at 7 yards? Yeah, I am. I can actually see my shoe marks on the floor, on the ground. Just made it. Just made that time. All right, that was cool. What did I do? Where did I end up pointing the gun? Right? I didn't plan to do that. I did my mag change. Okay, so my spare mag came out. I did my mag swap. I went to store it where I always store it, which is here, but the shot timer's in the way. So I put it back into the back pocket, and I'll cover that for a second. If your spare mag, not mags, your spare mag is in one spot, meaning your only source of spare ammo is in one spot, it is acceptable to put a partially expended mag into the same exact spot where your spare mag comes out of, because it is your only ammo source. If you have multiple places on your body, then that spare mag needs to go into a dump pocket, which on blue jeans I treat front pockets as dump pockets in case I am carrying more ammo. But in this case, I have 1 and 1, so it can go right back there. I don't typically practice that. I typically go for front pockets. But anyways, so guys on the ground, I do my mag swap. Where did my gun end up while I was tucking my mag? There. My known source of threat is there. I finished my check 360. I did my mag swap. My gun went back to my known source of threat there while I stored that mag. I love this type of training. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. And I caught a bullet fragment there earlier, so I want to make sure that nothing hit the camera. Bullet fragments are just a part of training on steel. I mean, it is the reality of training on steel. You're going to capture a spall. It is what it is. I like shooting steel. I will never stop shooting steel, because within 300 milliseconds of witnessing the hit, your brain creates a new neural pathway. 300 milliseconds, watch my eyelids. That's 300 milliseconds, the blinking of the eyelids. So in 300 milliseconds, if you witness a hit, your brain creates a new neural pathway. And witnessing the hit is seeing, feeling, because sometimes you get hit, seeing, feeling, sensing, hearing, smelling. You know, gunpowder, part of the bullet takes off some of the paint. So it's a combination of all the inputs of you launching something and then you getting the feedback input. It's no different than shooting hoops, hitting golf balls, throwing a football through a swinging tire. It's input, output, or feedback. And nothing in the shooting world exists to do that except steel. Well, I mean like steel or glass or whatever, but repeatable, survivable stuff is going to be steel. the steel feeds the information back to you to let you know that you're actually doing something successfully. So that's what I've got for you guys today. As always, I thank you guys for watching. I thank you for supporting me at tier1citizen.com with your donations and your purchases. God bless you all. Get those guns out and practice. Have a good one.